Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Fish, Fingers and Custard, the Explosion Network's Doctor Who Aftershow, with me, Dylan Blight, and always, Ashley Hobley.
Always.
You do the thing, it's like, is it because you think I call you always? I don't get the joke.
I don't know.
Okay. It's like a thing that you're just like, always. I'm like, am I missing the joke? I don't know. This week's episode, titled Arachnids in the UK, directed by Sally Arafinian. Here we go, Ash. Arafinian, I think. Got him. Written by Chris Chibnall. Got it the second time.
Yep.
Synopsis for this week's episode. Something's happening with the spiders in the city. The Doctor, Yaz, Graham, and Ryan find their way back to Yorkshire and Yaz's family, only to find something is stirring amidst the eight-legged arachnid population of Sheffield. I like saying Sheffield like it's shipping in. You say it with a little bit of a rural...
Not quite that terrible.
Yeah, no, not not quite that terrible. Yeah, that's the... That's the one way to go about it. Overall, what were your thoughts on this week's episode of Doctor Who, Ash?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Good story, good villain. Only slight issues, but yeah, good all-round good episode. A good follow-up to the last one.
It's and completely different the last. Well,
Completely different, but yeah.
I would. Well, I feel like the episode had heavy political. Like I feel like the manager of the hotels was Trump-esque. No, is that not?
I think it was pretty much implied.
Yeah, like he's talking about wanting to. He hates Trump. He hates Trump.
But he wants to do exactly the same thing Trump does.
Yeah, and there's even one
At
line.
least he actually built his empire.
Bam, but we don't know his history. He could have got his money from Daddy as well. We don't really know, true. I suppose is the thing. I thought overall it was a decent episode. I felt like at the end it kind of nosedived pretty fast. I really didn't like the way it ended, I suppose. Like I really liked the way it started. I really enjoyed the premise, the setup. And look, Doctor Who's done spiders before in the classic series, I think, with I can't remember which Doctor. The Sixth Doctor or something, I think. But then, and then they've done spiders kind of in the new Who as well. Even the start of David Tennant's run, where there's that spider demon lady thing in his first or second episode. It's I can't remember the name of the episodes, but it was pretty sure he kills that thing, which is the big difference between the Doctors we got here. But enjoyed the premise, enjoyed the setup. But then I felt like when we got to the ending, because they set up this idea that it's spreading, I suppose. The spiders are spreading, bigger throughout the city and bigger. And then when we get to the point where I have to buy into the idea that they draw in all the spiders of the population of the entire town of, I nearly said Sheffield, into this one room somehow.
Safe room.
Safe room. Yeah, the panic room. All the spiders in the whole city is what we're supposed to gather, pretty much. Or the majority have been turned into these mutant things, and they're all drawn into that room very quickly, and then they lock the door. No. At that point, I was like, look, you set this up to be very epic up here, the spider population is fucked. How are we going to save them? What are we going to do? And then they just... I felt like it nosedived at the end. It didn't land.
Yeah,
it's landing after a really good takeoff, I feel. So a little bit of a disappointment, but overall, I enjoyed it.
We'll get into the ending when we get to it.
Oh yeah, do it, but definitely. I saw some people online saying 1 out of 10 worst episode ever. I'm really struggling to tell, to dig through the hate wave as the season continues, because nearly every episode there's just
people angry it's a female Doctor.
There's still a lot of that, and I even see some people. I'm like, I feel like you're just still trying to cover your hate with stuff like, I'm not against a female doctor, but Jodie Whittaker sucks. She's the worst actress, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I just feel like you're covering your hate, saying that you're like, I'm not against it, but she sucks. But then if it was someone else, it would still be, I'm not against her, but she sucks too. So I can't win. And anyway, I feel like this episode, compared to episode 2, is still, like, episode 2 is still definitely the worst.
The worst, the worst, yeah.
Like, I don't know how you could say this is worse than episode 2. Anyway, overall thoughts. My last comment on the episode, which I teased at the end of last week's episode, I really don't like spiders, so overall this episode is a 1 out of 10 because it has spiders in it, but, you know, we'll give it a pass.
We should get a higher grade because it's something you're actually scared of.
I wasn't like sitting there, you know, sweating or anything, but there was the first time one of those spiders just crawled onto the screen, I was like, oh no. It's like whenever I see them pop up on Facebook or Twitter if I'm scrolling wrong and someone's like posted a spider picture or something, I don't like throw my phone across the room, but at the same time I just do one of those really big scrolls. You're just like, and get out of my timeline, bye, go away, and just do a little bit of a, oh no, I don't like that at all. That's not very nice. All right, let's jump into the episode. So as always, we're going to go through the episode from start to finish, going over what happens, stop at interesting points, things, see what happens, see what kind of discussion comes from the episode. So we start, once again, I'd like to point out, I feel like this hotel scene that the episode starts with should have been the episode teaser before the opening.
I don't know why they're not doing cold opens anymore.
I don't know.
I mean, they're writing them into the story.
Yeah.
Why not just cut it? I don't understand.
I don't know. But yeah, this hotel part, cold open. Title screen, and then after the title screen, we get the TARDIS doors, the crash landing, or well, not crash landing, but the landing. I don't know what weird decision was made. But it does, of course, if I'll complain about it, fuck it. I'll put it out there. I'll complain every week if necessary, so the BBC knows it's not right. It feels off every episode when you just know it should have been a cold open. It's not a thing that's out of style, right?
No.
One of my favorite shows that just wrapped up, Better Call Saul, every week has a teaser at the start before the credits, right? So BBC, if you think it's if you think it's out of fashion, no. Okay?
I feel like almost every show now
does it?
Starts with I
feel like a majority. I feel like a lot I watch do, but I don't know. It's weird. They've made a quite weird decision. But what should have been the teaser or the cold open is basically you've got old mate. I thought he was a politician straight up, which makes more sense later in the episode, I suppose, when you discover that he is like wanting to run for some political aspirations. But so at first, in my notes, I wrote down politician type or something like that. But then we just discover he's some hotel mogul, businessman of sorts. Yeah, but so we open with these bunch of shots going through hotel rooms. He's there, freaking out. We don't know what he's freaking out on. He has an iPad of some sorts. He's yelling at someone else. Then we get a lady that walks in to the room. Then he tells her she's fired. Tells the other lady, fucking fix the problem. Sort your biz out. Need to do what you need to do. Get it done. Then we got... he leaves, I guess. Did I miss anything?
Yeah.
I feel like I missed something.
I don't know. I feel like we could just cut.
Cut what?
So no, it just cut to the next cut to.
Yeah, I feel like it's done. So after what should have been the cold open, Ash, we go to the TARDIS landing. Well, crash landing, I suppose. No,
I felt like it landed properly for once.
Do you feel like it? Because the Doctor's running around screaming, the whole place is shaking all over the place. I mean, when it lands properly, it does, it looks like it was a normal landing, but it's one of those landings I feel... It's sometimes, when you're on an airplane, and it seems like a kind of normal landing, but then you wonder sometimes if in the cockpit of the plane, your fucking pilot and co-pilots were all freaking out on the way down, but you just don't know. That's what I felt like this TARDIS landing was. is the new Doctor unable to fly her TARDIS? It seems possibly. It seems
they changed all the controls. There seems to be less buttons.
It's true. I don't know why the TARDIS has to make it hard every single time to do something. It's really weird. But so they land. Everyone lands. Everyone piles out. Everyone's of course happy that they've actually managed to make it back to home Earth, Sheffield, finally. And they're all freaking out about time. But of course, Ash, time machine. Don't need to worry about it. Need to do what you're going to do. It's only been half an hour since they left the warehouse where they were miraculously zapped away. Couldn't see what they were doing. So no need to worry about that. And we have this bit. So the start of the episode pretty much sets up the end of the episode, I feel, with the whole Doctor sad about the prospect of her new friends leaving her, and she's like, oh, I guess we're gonna go say bye, and I guess, we'll all leave, and kind of digs a heel into the ground and gets a bit
looking for an opening to stick around.
Yeah, it's very much like a very like sad dog-esque, like, oh.
Yeah.
And then the moment Yaz says, well, do you want to come up with some tea? She's like, oh yeah, I'd love to come up with some tea. So that's very, very much compared to the last Doctor, Peter Capaldi's, which at the start would have been more like, I feel like would have been more open to just fuck it, I'm alone, just brush everyone away. Would have been happy to be alone. Now we have a Doctor who's just like, no, I'm sad. I don't want to be alone. I want friends, and not like I'm sad. I like something has really hurt me in my life. She's not sad because of the Gallifreyan War or anything like that. It's just I want friends. I want friends. I want people. I want someone to talk to. That's pretty much the gist of it. I got from it. So, Yaz, the Doctor, and Ryan all head on up to Yaz's home, while Graham says that he's going to go back to his house, which, when you think about it, I never really put it together until he headed off there. Probably it would be the first time he's returned there since the funeral, I guess, because they went straight from the funeral. From what we can gather, they went straight from the funeral to the warehouse to send the Doctor off, basically, in the first episode, I feel. And then in this one, they attempt to, he goes back there. I don't know if he would have returned, I guess, is the thing, to the house. So it's probably a monumental moment for him, I guess. So as they're walking up to Yaz's parents' house, where her house, where her sister, her mum and dad also live, the Doctor does spot someone on a phone outside another house there, freaking out, constantly, ringing on the phone, banging on the door. Doctor asks if that person's okay. She just replies, yeah, no, I'm fine. But then we also get a nice close-up on the camera of spider webs looming in the corner there. As in, ooh, what's going to be happening?
Lots of spider webs.
Lots and lots of spider webs are set up. And
empty spider webs as well.
Yeah. Well, I'll say one thing for this episode. They started out very teasy, spider webs. I was wondering if it was just going to be one or two spiders running around town doing it, Yeah. And we might not have seen them until near the end, so that they were play out the episode like a horror movie or something, not revealing until near the end. But they end up going the opposite route, where it's once they reveal the spiders in it's like, okay, well now there's heaps of them. So it's less scary after the reveal, I feel, compared to the build up of, are they really big? What do they look like? Are they freakishly long? We don't know. You don't really know what they're going to look like, and it's that thing of, if you don't know what it looks like, it's scarier. But once we had a look, wasn't that big of a deal, I felt. Well, no, they were still fucking spiders, so
yeah.
So still wasn't the biggest fan. Inside we get to meet Yaz's family, which what do you think of Yaz's family? Well, sister, father, really. We'll talk about the mother in a little bit. Do you reckon they're returning, or just
based on how the episode, maybe towards the end of the season if they have to come back for some reason. But I feel like, based on how it ended, I feel like all the adventures are going to be not in this timeline.
What, like
so not in this time period. So they're going to be going elsewhere.
You're going to coming back maybe until the end now? Maybe
not till the end.
Because this episode really is, well, apart from the spider story, it's we're nearly halfway through the season, and this is the first, at the end of this episode, we finally get the crew forming on, like they're actually wanting to be, they're committed, they want to be traveling together. There's always that stage of a lot of the Doctor and friends, I suppose, of some of them within the first episode, the Doctor meets them straight away. It's, hey, I want to come with you. Others, there is that weird falling into each other, and they do have to have that, do you want to come with me moment, which they never got to with the new ones until episode 4, which I found was funny. It's fairly late, you know, nearly halfway through the season, and they're finally tackling that whole thing. I thought Yaz's sister was, I didn't get that much. Yaz's dad, I could see coming back though, simply because of his inquisitiveness, that side of him. So you can easily see that side of him being tied into another episode if they especially if the season finale or the Christmas special or something, which these things are usually set on Earth, or primarily I feel like are more likely to be set on Earth. So if something else like that is happening in either of those, you can once again have Yaz's dad be like, oh, I've dug up this thing, part of the conspiracy theory, I suppose. So Yaz gets a call from her mum, which we now at the start, which is the lady that we saw at the start of the episode who was fired. Which we didn't know at the time was Yaz's mum, and it still took me about 30 seconds after this phone call to go, oh, well, that was right. Yeah. I was sitting there the entire time just doing that whole staring going, I know that actress was something. And it wasn't that I knew the actress, it was that I knew the lady who had literally seen 5 minutes earlier in the episode and just completely forgot about.
Completely forgot.
That I feel like that happens sometimes. You can't be helped. So Yaz heads out to go pick up her mum, and then we cut to Graham, who's inside his house, and we get Grace returning. So you got as soon as he walks into his house, Ghost Grace, yeah. It's inside Graham's mind, Grace. How do you feel about the way they're dealing with Graham dealing with his loss, I guess? Because throughout the episode we get him obviously speaking to Grace like 2 or 3 times. It was 2 or 3. I don't know. 2 or 3 times throughout the episode he's speaking to Grace. He obviously is well aware that he's speaking to someone that's not there. We don't need to think he's lost his marbles. But then also at the end of the episode, when he wants to come join the TARDIS crew, he basically says it's because he doesn't want to deal with being at home and all this sort of stuff. But he seems pretty chipper, like the character of Graham isn't exactly crying in the corner. So how do you feel about the way they're writing Graham's character? The way he's someone dealing with loss, I guess, as this.
No, I think they're handling it pretty well. I guess he's just trying to keep himself busy.
Yeah,
which helps. I think he's just avoiding grieving properly.
Yes,
and that's why he wants to go.
That was my thing. At the end when he says, "I want to come because I don't want to be alone in a house" or whatever, I felt like it was more. I'm like, well, you're running from the problem, aren't you? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not get you out of the house for a day after you've been, he hasn't been sitting in the house for 10 days and it's like someone comes around, a friend, and says, let's, get you out of the house finally. It'll be good for you or whatever. Get your mind off things. He's been into his house for a maximum amount of time of probably an hour or 2. And he's like, nah, this is too much. I don't want to do it. Literally take me to another planet so I don't have to deal with my grieving process. So I'm interested because that's the route they're going of how they're then going to have him deal with that, throughout the rest of the season, because he still has to deal with it eventually. But they're not going to have him deal with it at home. how they're going to have him deal
He'll
with it.
He'll be stuck on some planet and some alien's going to take the form of Grace and he's going to have to deal with his own... Something like that.
You know that's highly plausible, so yeah. It's up there with options of things that could happen. So the Doctor and Ryan go next door to help out the lady. Well, they said they're going to go pick up a package. What was their whole lie? I can't really remember. It's like, we're going to go pick up a package or something along those lines.
She actually did pick up a package. The person who lived in that apartment.
Okay, I missed the whole. I was like, how are they getting away with getting out of this house?
Yeah.
They basically go next door.
Never picked up the package, though.
No.
Went to the house, conveniently got sidetracked with spiders, never picked up the package.
Put that
Poor Yaz's dad is waiting on those...
To start tea, forever. Yeah. They never even go back, ever. I felt so bad, though, because there is that shot of him where he's like, how long does it take to get a package or one? I'm like, just start, mate. Just dig in. There's no... They're not coming. But your quote of, they got sidetracked with spiders is something I don't want to hear in my life, ever. Like, that's... No, thank you. No getting sidetracked with spiders. That is not a thing. So they head next door. They bump into the lady who's, on the phone or whatever. Her name is Jade. And they head inside the apartment by means of sonic screwdriver, of course. Which is quite funny because the doctor asks and says, do you want me, are you afraid for your life? Blah, blah, blah. Do you want me to knock down the door? Or do you want me to get in? And Jade says, knock it down. And he's like, no. But then when the doctor just like sonics it, there's not even a second of Jade being like, what the fuck? She was just like, no, whatever. No. So, I suppose in the world where she's dealing with the spiders,
mutant spiders, just opening a door with a magic wand isn't
she's like
surprising.
Jade was like, I'll give the magic door opening wand thing a pass for today, possibly.
Yeah. Other things are on my mind here.
Yeah, like I'll deal with that after the mutant spiders, I guess. But so they head in, they're looking around, and inside the apartment is just covered in webs, spider webs everywhere, covering floor to ceiling, pretty much. And then we kind of do this cut backwards and forwards situation, intertwined. Scene cutting between them exploring the apartment and then also cutting back towards Graham, who is sitting in the house talking to Grace, blah, 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 blah. And then he hears a noise inside the upstairs in his house as well. And then as he heads upstairs, so do the doctor and crew head to another part of the room, and they kind of cutting backwards and forwards here once or twice. And Graham gets all the way upstairs to his one, and he discovers the dead body of a spider in his attic or whatever they call it over there. Yeah, which upside down. Looked because it was sitting there. It looked a lot like a face hugger from Alien, pretty much. I was like, oh, that's disgusting, but that must be what the spider looks like. Lucky it's dead. Unlucky for the doctor and crew because the one they find upstairs, not dead. That one's very much alive. So they walk into the room and they find Anna, the girl that Jade was looking for. She's all webbed up in her bed. Was she sitting in her bed? I think she was, or something. I don't know. She was laying down.
Yeah, she was in her bed.
Yeah. So
sleeping.
That age-old tale of you swallow a spider or two every time you sleep. As they say.
Yeah.
Every night you sleep, you swallow a spider. Well, this went a little bit further than that. Some would say.
A little bit.
Every time you sleep, a spider webs you up and kills you. Nope. No, thank you. So, Anna's all webbed up. They begin looking around the room, because the doctor's like, well, is the spider that did this still here? If it was me, Ash, is the spider that still did this here? Who fucking cares? I'm gone, In fact, I walk into a room that has that much webbing in it from the get-go. I'm gone. I wouldn't have even got up to Anna.
I know. What if it was Spider-Man?
Come on, Spider-Man's
Which one's more realistic, Spider-Man or a giant mutant spider?
Such a... I don't know. I'd say giant mutant spiders,
More likely than Spider-Man.
I feel like that's if I feel like that is a news story I could wake up and read. That wouldn't be as excessive as what is in this episode, but just be like, NASA fucked up. Like, NASA fucked up. There was an outbreak of giant mutant spiders. It's fine. We got rid of them now. So they find the spider. This one is about, how big would you say it is? Like it's the smallest variety because obviously they get
Probably
bigger.
like a large dog size.
Yeah, no, I don't like you saying that about spiders. So when you say it out loud, it's like, no, it's a large dog-sized spider. But yeah, that's about how big it is. The doctor even says to it, "You're not supposed to be this big, and you're definitely not supposed to attack humans." Which is, I like the lines from this doctor when she says stuff like this because it's so, like, her response to everything isn't, "How do we get rid of you? How do we kill you?" Blah 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 blah. It's just, it is that proper doctor thing of interest, intrigue, you know?
Yeah.
Or there's something wrong with you. How do we fix it? Someone's tampered with your species or whatever have you. So I like that line. So they run away as you would, and as you should. They should have a lot earlier, as in when they first entered the place. In fact, would probably be the right point. And as they ran outside, locked the door, Graham runs up. Perfect timing, Graham, some would say. Graham just perfectly showing up in time. And Graham tells him about the carcass of the spider he found in his house, and they're all like, "Well, that's funny because we just had the fucking one in there that was alive, so probably don't go in there unless you want to see a live one, Graham." And at which point, you know, go have a look, I guess, if that's your prerogative. So then Jade explains that it's not the first spider that she has in fact seen, and that I'm just not like, she's like, her job is pretty much the head of whatever. I don't know if it was just that city or the UK or whatever, but you know, she's a scientist of spiders, I guess is what it boils down to.
Yeah.
What is your job? I'm sure it has a long, complicated, proper name, but to me, you're a scientist of spiders. You're a spider scientists. Let's go, spider scientists. Hello, Jacob in the chat. Are we Australian? We certainly are. If you can't tell, if you can't tell, spider. So then we get. So Jade's like, "Come back to my lab. We'll try and figure out what the hell's going on here." So they'll head back to her lab, and they cuts to a scene here as they're traveling to there of the lady from the start of the episode that got told by Mr. Manager, politician dude, you know, solve this shit, figure this shit out, do what you need to do. She's walking in an underground cavern type thing, which we, of course, by the end of the episode learn is under the hotel. And I don't know what her plan is, really, especially when we know what we know at the end of the episode. Like, I don't know what she was going down there to do. She knows it's unsafe. She knows that there's spiders, or, well, actually, we don't know if she knows about the spiders. All we know, she knows about the fact that the hotel's being built on unsafe waste and that sort of thing. Like, that's the big reveal then. But still, she's walking through a dark underground hallway, cavern, full of webs and all sorts of things. Nope. Yeah. Nope, that's a big nope. that's a
Just
big
get some fire.
Yeah, need a torch or something to be going down here. Haven't you people played Skyrim or any Elder Scrolls games? Come on, what are you doing?
You need at least a sword and a shield.
Yeah, any sort of fantasy games. But she's heading down there, and then, of course, she screams off screen. Something attacks her. It seems a lot bigger than the spider.
I think it was a rat.
Seen. Yeah, it's like there's giant rats in this episode too. Maybe phone cracks. So yeah, she dead. Bye. So at the at the thing, we find out that Yaz is at the hotel. That's what I was trying to say. Yaz is at the hotel. She finds her mum there. Why her mum? Here's the other thing of this whole sequence I found weird. So Yaz's mum is fired, right? She's told to leave. She rings her daughter to pick her up. They don't have a fucking Uber, taxi service, nothing. Got to ring her daughter.
How'd she get there?
Yeah, because Yaz didn't drop her off. She was at a funeral, and then she traveled the galaxy. But I mean, she was at a funeral.
Maybe she dropped her off before the funeral.
I got a funeral, Mum, but you know, it's fine. I'll drop you off for your first day at work or whatever.
Very somber, but
we'll work it off.
I know, first day at work.
You can work it out. Hi, Raka Mummy in the chat. Then So the spiders, oh, not spiders. Then Yaz's mum just decides that she'll wait around the hotel for whatever reason. Well, not outside, around the corner, anywhere like that. She's literally waiting in the hotel, makes Yaz walk all the way into the hotel, the premise, which is a closed building, Ash. A closed building that she was just fired from, and tells her daughter,
why wouldn't you just wait outside?
Walk in. This whole thing. Like, of course, in a minute, when they walk out with guns, they are overreacting and all that. Like, I'm not trying to say that's okay. However, at the same time...
They are American, though, so...
Yeah. No. Maybe just wait outside, Yaz's mum is my point. Maybe you should have just been waiting outside, and none of this sort of stuff should have happened. So Yaz's mum does explain to Yaz that she's fired, blah, 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 blah. Then you get the hotel manager and 2 of his bodyguards. Why he has bodyguards? But that's a whole different thing. So they walk up with guns.
He's a dick. That's why.
Yeah, it's like they've got the full.
When you're a rich dick, you need bodyguards.
They went really hard on the. This is the next Trump, like stereotype, like mogul. Everything. He's got bodyguards with guns. He says lines later. Guns rule. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. It's like so good. So comes in threatening him. Says, I'll show you how good of a job your mum has done to get her fired today. This is what I'll do. I'll drag you up into, take you and I'm going to show you. So they head off. The dock and crew.
It seems like a weird choice.
It is weird. Why
does this super rich guy feel like he needs to justify something?
Because he could have just been like, I'll point my guns at you. Now fucking leave and never come back, or else I'll shoot you or something. Because 2 minutes before, or screen time before, it was probably hours, her time, I don't know. But it was very much, you're fired, fuck off, and now it's, hello, the person I just fired's daughter, you're doubting me? You're doubting why I'd fire your mum? All right, I better justify my reasons, come on. I'll show you. So, yeah, that was very weird. Back at Jade's science lab, wherever we are, they do the old triangulate of the spider webs around town, and then X marks the spot where the spiders must be coming to or from, and of course the X marks the spot was the hotel. It's pretty much what that scene boiled down to. There was a little bit of the doctor being like, oh, spiders, a little banter, but then all of a sudden it was, if we triangulate, we're all the spiders and webs.
Yeah.
This is where it's ending up right here. That's where we are. Then back at the hotel, the manager. This is a weird thing that's never explained, and one of the weirdest lines. Because when they said it, I'm like, fuck. Maybe he's a robot. Maybe he's a mutant spider. I don't know. They take.
It could be.
Yeah, they take Yaz and Yaz's mum into this room with a bunch of spider webs everywhere. And his whole point is, look, she's so terrible. So I presume her job was like manager of the cleaning or, something like that, I guess. I don't really know. It's like, look how bad of a job she's done. This room is covered in spider webs. But the amount of spider webs in the room is to a ridiculous degree that if it happened, if you was in charge of a hotel, Ash, and you walked in, you would just say, this can't be real. This is a joke, this is a prank, or there's mutant spiders. Because spider webs like that, I've never seen. Like, that's 10
obscene amount of spider webs.
Yeah, that's like 10 years locked away behind a door with like normal spiders level of spider webs. I was like, no, it's not realistic. But the weirdest line in the episode, Ash, is I've got to take my scheduled toilet break.
Yeah.
Explain that one to me.
Some people are very pedantic about when they take their toilet breaks, I guess. He's a busy man. He needs to schedule his sleep time. He needs to schedule his eating time. He needs to schedule his toilet time.
I
don't know.
I mean, maybe it's right. Maybe
he's OCD or something, aren't he?
Maybe you're right. But if any of that stuff is true, then was it bad that my first reaction was maybe he's a robot?
No. I think that's perfectly reasonable.
Given how weird he'd been all episode, and he's the bad guy. Apart from the spiders, of course, he's a bad guy. I was like, he's a robot. He's a spider. He's a spider inside a robot in disguise.
Oh,
it's a.
Like Krang.
It was none of it, but like Krang. But it never comes back. It's never a thing, so it's fine. So Yaz and the mum are left in the room. Another thing is, I thought they were like locking him in there or something like that, but then we soon discover that he's literally taken them up to the room. Was like, look at this room, it's fucking disgusting. Then left to go for his bathroom break, and like, he wasn't locking them in there. It was like this whole. No. It's very weird. So. They're in there and they can hear, squelching, I suppose. I don't know, scratching. It wasn't really scratching. It was like more more squelching sounds, I guess. And Yaz puts her head up to one of the walls and there's a spider on the other side, and that's gross. And I didn't like that at all. And I didn't like the sound that was being made. And I was glad when the scene was over. So that's good. That's the thing that happened. The doctor rings Yaz. The doctor rings Yaz's mum, whose number she manages to get somehow via means
Google.
Somehow. And then Yaz's mum literally just says, a phone call for you. It's the doctor. Like, she doesn't know about the doctor yet. She says, like, it's the doctor.
How does she, I didn't understand. How did she know Yaz was with her mum and her mum was running that hotel?
I don't know.
Crazy coincidence.
There are some. I feel like there were some plot things that happened this episode that. Yeah. Just the little things that are a bit all over the place. So Yaz rings. Doctor rings Yaz, says, "Please, can you let us in? We're at the hotel." Blah 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 blah. So they go downstairs. They'll meet up. I'll have a bit of reunion. Who's this Jade girl? Who knows? Nice to meet you, everybody. This is Jade. This is Ryan. This is Graham. Fucking welcome to the party, everybody. Spiders in the UK is what we're doing. That's what yay. And then Mr. Weirdo is what I refer to the guy for the rest
Robertson.
of my notes. Look, I found out later his name was Robertson, of course. We do find out later in the episode. And I could have gone back and in my notes fixed his name from Mr. Weirdo to Robertson. However, Mr. Weirdo just seemed a lot better. So that's what I decided to leave it as. So Mr. Weirdo is in the bathroom, having done his scheduled toilet break or whatever his thing was. He hears weird noises coming from the bath. Nice bath too, I'd like to point out. Very relaxing.
Fancy bath.
Very fancy. I liked it. Was a fan. Here's weird noise coming from that bath. Does the normal thing of going over to it and bending down and being like, I'll put my ear to that. No! Don't do that. Throw a grenade.
You've got people for that.
You got all these bodyguards. Don't be fucking around. I mean, not that I really cared if he died at this point. It would have been better if he died at this point. Maybe. Possibly. Don't wish death on anyone except for fictional characters in TV shows, which is fine. I feel like that's
really healthy.
That's the line. That's the line of where it's allowed. I feel So, of course, it's a spider coming up through the bath, which somehow I don't know how this works. It didn't break through, like it didn't put one of its. What do you call a spider? Is a leg? It's just a leg, right? The spider doesn't just kick with one of its legs through the bottom of the bath or anything and come up. It fucking somehow
lands its head.
It explodes this whole thing everywhere in a glorious fashion. So that was a thing that happens. He backs away, of course, and as the spider starts coming
How big
up,
would you say this spider is?
I don't want to describe it. I don't want to think about it. Look, it is the size of a flat screen TV, or bigger. It is the size. It's large, Ash. The guy, Mr. Weirdo, describes it later the size of the bathtub because it comes up through the bathtub. It is at least as big as the bathtub. The answer is it's too big. They're all too big. They're all too big, though. That's the thing. They're all way too big. Don't want to deal with any of them. So His bodyguard runs in at this stage, hearing this explosion with his gun drawn, which I'd like to know what in his mind at this point he thought was actually happening until he saw the spider, because he's like, I'm guarding the door for my boss who's having a leak, and then he hears all these explosions. Is it possibly just heavy gas? You know, like,
is his phone on really loud?
Is his phone? Yeah, we don't really know what's happening. So, but bodyguard charges in. And of course, Mr. Weirdo's like, fuck this shit. Jumps on the other side of the bathroom door. Locks his body. Yeah, I'm out, boy. Locks his bodyguard in. Bodyguard begins shooting. So then the doctor and crew downstairs start hearing the shooting, and of course, start running up to get to where the action is. Got to be where the action is happening. Then Mr. Weirdo pokes his head back in again and sees the spider is webbing up his bodyguard, which is nice.
Kevin.
That's
Poor
nice.
Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin, that was his name. Poor Kevin. Yeah, poor Kevin. We don't know. We don't know if he's as bad as his boss. Just a bodyguard.
He's just doing his job.
Just doing his job. You know. So it's no different than any of Dr. Evil's henchmen. You know, it's just a job. Yeah. Being a henchman. Well, you got to do what you can to survive.
Yeah, it's a tough economy out there.
Yeah, it's tough. Got to do what you got to do to survive. Even working for Trump-esque dickheads like this guy. So that's the necessities of what was happening. Then the spider drags Kevin back down through the bathtub to the underground section. The doctor, they all show up. She flashes the.
So we're assuming this floor's on the bottom floor.
It was like it was like on the first floor, surely. Like it wasn't on the bottom floor. It was on I took it as the doctor and all that are on the very bottom floor, obviously like ground floor, and then I took this as possibly being on like level 1. You know,
it seems like a dark cave underneath, though.
Yeah, it does.
Not like you look at the floor underneath. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe because it was
not that important.
Yeah, it's not. I get what you're saying. So Doctor heads in after flashing psychic paper to explain who they are but it doesn't really make a difference.
Psychic paper.
It's like that's the first time that's been used by the 13th Doctor as well, I suppose. So that was a moment. So she decides to do the awful decision of hanging down through the hole in the bathtub, coming about this much, which is way too close to the spider's face, and then even the doctor's like, nah, and backs the fuck out.
How did you feel about that?
That was one of the worst scenes of the episode, I feel. It's like when you watch a horror movie and you know there's something bad in a hole, right? And the characters put their hand into the hole, not knowing what's in there. Like a hole in a tree or something, you're just watching it like, no. Never put your limbs into holes.
Never put an appendage in a hole that you can't see
that you can't see into. That's got on there. We'll go with that. We'll keep it PG. So they ran all out and they're all like, well, fuck that, there's a big spider there, what are we going to do? What are we going to do about it? They all retreat to the kitchen. They're like, we'll have our mid-episode conversation to figure out what's going on, which usually happens.
Yeah.
And this is where there was a real funny back and forth here where it was funny though, because the doctor's like, who are you, to Mr. Weirdo, Robinson, and up until this point everyone else, all the other characters have been acting like they know who he is. You know, Graham's like, oh, you're the guy, blah, blah, blah.
You're that guy.
To the point where I was like,
excited.
Yeah, to the point where as a viewer, cool. I was like, have I missed? Like, did I miss who they were? But I think it was, we weren't supposed to know, like, we're supposed to be as naive as the doctor, I suppose. But her funny response to, you're supposed to, this guy's really famous. She's like, are you Ed Sheeran? I hear Ed
Everybody talks about Ed Sheeran.
She's like, Ed Sheeran's really popular at this time period, isn't he? Like, that's the thing. He's like, no, I'm going to run for president. Ed Sheeran's going to run for president. So that was, I think this was the height of the good back and forth comedy for the episode. I felt it was good fun. Bit of Ed Sheeran jokes, bit of Donald Trump making fun of things happening, you know, bit on both ends, bit of political humor, bit of Ed Sheeran humor, bit of Doctor humor. it was pretty good, I felt. So yeah, but this is where we find out he's actually this big businessman who's basically this Doctor Who version of Trump that hates Trump, that wants to replace Trump, but it's more or less just Trump.
Another Trump,
yeah.
Trump with bigger hands.
Trump with more hotels. Well, I don't know how many hotels Trump has. No. So Graham and Ryan head off to capture one of the spiders in an attempt to, I don't know, study it, I guess was the plan, to find out how they work or something. It was a bad idea, whatever it was. Just, look, I'm on the bad guy side this whole episode. Just shoot them all. Just the spiders, I'm sorry. Just tread on them, shoot them. Do what you need to do. Lucky I wasn't there. I would have been like, look, I want to be on your side, Doctor.
Upset the Doctor very much.
I want to be on your side, Doctor, but you don't understand. There's spiders.
No, all these spiders accidentally got shot in the face.
I'll be like, I'm out. I can't pick a side. I'll sit it out. I'm leaving. Okay, bye everyone.
I'll sit in this TARDIS. The spiders can't get in the TARDIS, right?
Yous all sort it out. I feel like I can't make any sort of decisions. You need to do what you need to do. So after they capture one, they're like, yeah, we got one spider with the old big bucket and then put the plate under, but bigger variation than the cup and spoon for spiders in real life. But then, of course, behind them, a bunch of spiders start chasing them, so they run off. And then we get the first of a couple very weird Yaz's mum scenes. And the first one is Yaz's mum prying into if Yaz is dating the Doctor. Which the Doctor does have a funny response to, I thought. Which just shows how little care she has to, like...
social norms.
Well... I suppose it's like, I took it as the Doctor has no idea about relationships that way, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's always this huge argument throughout history of the whole, you know, is the Doctor attracted to, like, is the Doctor straight? You know, all sorts of questions like that. And people always made the argument, you know, that's why he always picks the hot girl, blah, 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 blah. When really that has nothing to... That was always just because it was being run. They would always want to have a female for the Doctor's companion. For male audience reasons, I suppose. But this was a cool moment where it's just Gaz's mum like, are you dating? The Doctor goes, I don't know. Like, maybe. Like, are we? Gaz is like, no. Oh, we're not then. Like, we're not. It's fine. Okay. We'll all continue on. I felt it was very weird for the way her mum was prying into it, that I'm like, maybe they're trying to say that Yaz is, because then Yaz's mum asked later about Ryan, of course.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, is there some sort of, does Yaz's mum know Yaz's
bisexual or something?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Has Yaz's mum seen Yaz a guy and girl? That's why she's checking both sides, or is it her just?
Or is it she just asks about everybody?
Yeah, or are they just writing her as very progressive and she's just literally asking about anyone? So either way, it's weird time to be asking these questions. Yaz's mum, you know, it's not very appropriate.
Yeah. We got more important things to deal with.
Yeah, like the giant mutant freaking spiders coming after us. So just calm down, Yaz's mum.
I also love that the Doctor keeps calling her Yaz's mum.
Yeah, well, to
episode,
the point where I never did. They actually say what her name is ever?
Yeah, she kept saying it was Naya or Najit. I can't pronounce it.
Well, in my notes, because all I heard was the Doctor just say Yaz's mum, Yaz's mum, Yaz's mum. In my notes, it is down Yaz's mum.
It's Yaz's mum.
There was no reason for me to even look up.
I think.
Well, look, I'm sorry, Mrs.
Because she kept correcting her, like every time she said Yaz's mum. Yeah.
I'm going to prefer to say Yaz's mum because it's funny.
It's more fun. And it's easy to pronounce.
That too. It's not easier just to roll off the tongue, sorry. So the Doctor, Yaz, Mr. Weird, Yaz's mum and Jade, There's two nicknames in there, really. I'll head downstairs to the underground entrance door thing. While Mr. Weird continuously tries to stop them because they're trying to find the source of the problem where the spiders are coming from, which is always the thing with these mutant outbreaks. Ash, you got to find the source of where all the action's happening. What is going on? What are we going to do?
Yeah.
So they down there, they go through the hallway, which is where we saw the girl earlier before get wrapped up and died. They find her body strung up. They find Kevin's body all wrapped up. Poor Kevin. Rest in peace. Peace out to Kevin. So then they they walk along and they find this big, like it is literally like looking into a tip if you've been to a proper tip, I suppose, or a dump or whatever you call it in your country. It's big empty hole of waste, and we discover that this Mr. Weird thing is that he buys basically like old mills, like any
old places that need to be redeveloped.
Yeah, and then fills them with waste or general waste from other places to build the ground structure, and then builds up from that. And that's how he gets the land cheap, I suppose, like cheap as fuck. It's because it's
kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really understand. All I could gather is it's cheap.
He's just cutting corners, is what he's trying to say. Yeah.
And then I was like, why are you getting the waste? Like, is the waste company paying him to take the waste?
No, he owns the waste company.
Ah, that makes more sense. Okay. Yeah. That's so. Well, there you go. So overall, it sounds like a terrible idea. If I knew that any sort of hotels were doing this, you wouldn't stay there because you'd just be like, that doesn't sound like it's at all safe.
No, it sounds like it would stink.
Yeah. Or collapse. Like, I'd be scared you'd wake up one morning.
I've seen an episode of The Simpsons or something like that with something like they fill something like a mine up with waste.
The answer to any point. Yes. The answer to anything when someone says, I feel like I've seen this on The Simpsons, the answer is 99.9% of the time, probably, because The Simpsons has done everything. So you're probably right. Is the point. So Jade then says that they had a bunch of spider corpses that were probably in the waste, and then the spider corpses from their place probably ended up in the waste that's now melded into the rest of the stuff. And we're going for the old stereotypical-ish tale of waste, toxic waste, pretty much reanimates a giant spider and then spreads. It was weird. It got to the point where I'm like, are they zombie spiders now? Is that what we're...
No. So one of the spiders they thought was dead probably wasn't dead.
And
then it was put in the waste. And instead of getting incinerated or whatever it should have been incinerated, it was just chucked in this pile.
And it grew.
Didn't have enough
from
food
waste.
source to keep growing. Because apparently if spiders don't die, they would keep growing. So that's why they're so big. They've extended the life of the spiders.
How's it spread? How is it spreading from there outwards though through the city to all the other spiders?
I assume all the other spiders are babies.
Okay. But just the one big spider.
The one massive spider is the mother.
Mother. Well, it's not really. I mean, like,
I don't know how.
I don't know. Mutant spiders from outer space or out of hotels. That's the thing. So, yeah, spider corpses came alive. It's basically Darth Maul, is what we're saying. This one spider is. It was kept alive. So, Graham and Ryan are now, as the rest of them underground, having this whole conversation. Graham and Ryan are walking through the hotel, and they're talking about this letter that Ryan got from his dad. Well, Graham gave to Ryan. He found in a house from his dad. And it's like one of these it's a character-heavy story moment chucked in quickly, and then of course the episode has to get moving, but I feel like it's something we'll probably come back to next episode or when out after them, because like the whole overarching story for Ryan and Graham kind of is is going to end up being Ryan getting really close to Graham and accepting him a lot more as a family, which his answer to his dad's letter already shows it. He's a lot closer than episode 1, I feel.
He was upset that he didn't call him. He said that he should be with his real family.
Yeah. And he didn't like the way he said, quote, real family.
Yeah. Interesting. I wonder what the family dynamic is for Ryan. Is the dad Grace's son, or is that on the other side of the family?
So he was his grandma. Yeah. So we don't really know, I suppose. But they never said if he's. Yeah. I suppose you presume it's hers, like her side of the family. But it could literally be she's from the complete opposite side of the family. We don't.
Yeah.
Don't know. Don't really know. Maybe we'll never know. I don't know.
Maybe.
I suppose it's not really as.
I feel like we'll know eventually.
You reckon you're going to get the full Ryan family tree?
Yeah. Well, I assume we're going to meet the dad at some point this season. I guess they're going to have to come back to 2018 just so they can confront him.
I know. There has to be a reason he's not with his dad, so.
Yeah.
They'll tackle that. Turns out he's a bit of a dick. I don't know.
Probably.
Drug addict or something.
Most likely.
Something along those routes, possibly. So yeah, they're walking through, talking about the ladder, and then they have this whole Beelview's real family moment. Then Graham interrupts and says, "Did you look on the roof?" No, they already fucked it. They're running through this hotel. Look, they're tracking spiders, and they're failing to look at the roof every time they enter a room. You're failing as spider hunters, and of course, as they look up, they see the giant mother spider up there really creepily, which drops down to the ground, and they promptly are like, fuck this, we're out, run away. So they all get together again, and the doctor asks Mr. Weird to show them where his, what's it called, panic room is.
Panic room.
Which apparently he's like, oh, I've got one installed in every hotel, blah, 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 for whatever reasons. And I was expecting it to be a lot bigger. I was expecting some really crazy, nonsense panic room. But it was a very, realistic looking thing. But the way he was going on about it, I've got a panic room and everything. So it goes down there, and then we have this whole, the doctor's talking about, what are we going to do with the spiders? How are we going to save them? How are we going to get rid of them humanely? These sorts of options. And then, of course, the Trump Phil character of the episode runs in with the line of, just be normal and shoot everything, when he's talking about just shooting the monsters. And also, it's also good here how Ryan, after picking up that gun in episode 2, doesn't backtrack to being on that guy's side here. He was very much like, she's not gonna like that, and he wasn't even like,
she's doing.
Yeah, it's like a bit more. He has a bit more trust and faith in the doctor, I suppose. At this point, he wasn't like, no, doc, like he's a dickhead, but we should probably just shoot them. That's the way to go.
Spiders will make things easier.
Whereas I feel like if this was episode 2, then it possibly could have been a thing with, that might have been the route he went. Like, hey doc, I understand what you're saying, but he's a dick, but still. We probably should just shoot. We should probably just shoot spiders. But I feel like because it's episode 4, it's a bit more trust built up there. So that was a good thing. I feel like, on that note, real quickly, I do honestly feel like with these Doctor Who episodes, because a lot of the character building, because it's a show made to be able to watch, like Monster of the Week show, of course. You're meant to be able to watch it. That a lot of the story happening with our actual characters is so minimal, or so quick moments like that Ryan's dad moment, or such minimal stuff that you kind of have to do a lot of reading between the lines. I feel, which some people could say, that's you're looking too hard into it. Maybe you're getting stuff out of it that you're not supposed to be, but I don't think so. I think they write the characters like certain decisions smaller ways, and I feel like it's always been like that with Doctor Who, unless you're in a season finale episode or something like that, where a lot of it would heavily be about just the characters instead of the monsters or something like that. So So this was a funny moment. They're like, the doctor's like, cool, we'll get all the spiders, we'll drag them all back to this panic room, we'll lock them in here, and then they do the whole thing where I guess they'll just like run out of air, like nothing, food.
Yeah, so we'll slowly suffocate them. That's the plan.
Yeah.
That's super humane.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. So that's the plan. And then it's like, oh, what attracts spiders? Vibration. Brian's like, no worries, I've got this. Pulls out his phone, plugs it into the nicely placed fucking auxiliary cable in the corner into some speakers in a panic room. Which
I'm pretty sure it was Bluetooth.
Okay. In this panic room, of course,
he can afford Bluetooth.
He could easily plug in his his phone though, and then he starts playing. Well, he starts playing some rap music of some hip hop.
He plays Stormzy's "Know Me From."
Did you look up the song?
Yeah, because it was a Twitter moment. Everyone was going crazy because this rapper was saving the day on Doctor Who.
Is it a famous like UK rapper? I have no idea.
I guess so.
We're assuming so. I don't know, but
I will do more research. Hang on.
I like how he said, Ryan like turns to Yaz and says, I honestly don't know what he says. It sounded like saying like a slogan or, you know, a line or something that maybe is real in real life. I don't know, but even Yaz was like, I have no idea what you just said. And Ryan's just like, you're not cool, plugs in his phone. All of a sudden he's like fucking gangster ass. He's like, yeah, man, I got this fucking shit. So then they start playing this song, which of course is Vibrate. This is my thing. This is what I'm saying. This is what I was saying at the start of the episode. Sure, they're pumping whatever song you just said by whatever artist. They're pumping this song very loud. I would assume that, yes, it would send vibrations through a degree of the hotel. I'm willing to push it to sending vibrations through the entirety of the hotel. And even then, I think I'm pushing it, you know? I feel like even then, I'm pushing the amount of vibrations I'm getting out of this one Bluetooth system. Because it is a fucking stereo system in a panic room. We're not talking about them plugging it into all of the speakers in front of an AC/DC concert, you know? We're not the underground stereo system. But then they asked me to extend my believability and that these vibrations in this Bluetooth stereo system in a small panic room not only attracted all of the spiders in the hotel, but all of them throughout all of Sheffield. And that's the point. This was the point of the episode where I was like, yeah, fucked up the ending. Like, you fucked it up.
I believe it.
You believe? No.
Huge Stormzy fans.
Are we? We're huge Stormzy.
All spiders are huge Stormzy fans.
It wasn't about the vibrations. It was about the music,
the lyrics,
and the lyrics. Yeah, it's about the lyrics. All right, look, I'm just putting it out there. I don't feel like they stuck the landing. Maybe they should have rung up Stormzy, had him come perform, trapped him in the room. Stormzy sacrifices himself for the spiders. That's the
Doctor gets a TARDIS.
Stormzy. Yeah.
like in some nightclub, just hanging out.
Yeah.
For a second. Oh, it's bigger on the inside. And then chuck him in the panic room.
That's alternative ending if you're listening to
ends with him smothered in spiders.
You can still go back and fix this ending, BBC, before the Blu-ray release is all I'm saying. You know, just fix it, put it back out there. So yeah, we then get this 2-minute scene where it wasn't like they just play the song for 10 seconds and cut away. They were like, no, we're using this song. BBC was like, we paid for this fucking Stormzy song. We're getting our use out of it. We're using the song. And then we get, well, I don't know, like 30 seconds or more of this song playing.
I feel like a minute, maybe 2.
It was very long sequence, yeah. I was like, are we playing the whole
because this is like the second week in a row they've had like licensed music.
So you usually don't.
And you
really.
Barely,
yeah.
music in.
So, but now they're like, nah, fuck it. BBC's like, no. All out. We got the money. We're getting song licenses. We got better special effects, and we're gonna have the actual music. So then all the spiders travel through the hotel and from all of Sheffield somehow. Look, I'll stop. They travel and they all end up in that one tiny.
All get there at the same time.
yeah, and well, they're doing the whole spider thing of in a line, you know. They all suddenly end up
on the floor.
All end up in a conga line as they head back into this room. So once they're all dealt with, closes the door, does Mr. Weird. Said that like a children's tale book. Then the doc's plan to deal with the mother spider is basically spider repellent. So the doctor and...
where's she going to repel it to?
I don't know. It's outside.
I don't know what her end game was.
Neither do I. This is something. There's so many problems with this ending. But the doctor heads in there like a fucking Ghostbuster. Ryan's got like 2 weed sprayer bottles. Graham looks like, I'm looking at the picture right now. If you're watching the YouTube version or live on Twitch, you can look at it too. If you're listening to the audio version and you've watched the episode and you can't picture it again, it is pretty much the Ghostbusters while Graham holds what looks like a giant bottle of hand sanitizer. I don't know what's. I don't know what their plan was.
All lube one or the other.
Yeah. We'll lube up the spider. We'll repel it.
It won't be able to move anywhere. It's got 8 legs. It's super slippery.
We've fucked it, everyone. We outplayed the spider. What can it do now? But yeah, so I don't know. Luckily, we don't need to find out what her ridiculous plan was because as we walk in, Jade, the spider expert, who just kind of disappears and comes back throughout the episode whenever not. It's like, where'd Jade go? Don't know. Is Jade necessary for this scene? Yes. Jade's suddenly there. Whoa, go spider expert. Jade says, no, stop. You don't need to repel it into wherever you're going to repel it to, and you're not going to tell us because we didn't figure out where it was in the script because we didn't need to work out where it was actually going to do in the script. It's fine. Because look, it's running out of breath. It's getting too big. The spider has grown too much. It can no longer breathe properly. Just let it be. Let it die peacefully. It's gonna die. And the doctor's like,
choked to death.
Well, yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you're getting too big to the point where your I suppose your lungs or whatever aren't big enough to like cover your body space. I don't know, like function your body. I guess is what we're going with. Like we're at your last couple minutes of show. You're like, like that's a painful, horrible death. You know? And I would only wish it on spiders. Is what I'm saying, basically. So I can't help it. But then in comes Mr. Weird, Mr. Robertson, or whatever his name was, in with his gun that he picked up off Ryan's dead corpse, hung up body. Kevin, sorry, what did I say? Ryan. Got him. And he comes in and has to shoot the spider to prove he's big man. He shoots the spider, says his big walk away into the moment line is, and that is basically, he's like, that's a mercy killing, and they're the kind of moves that are gonna get me into the White House, and then strolls out. And then everyone's left sad because the spider's dead. If I'm kind of sitting there like, the spider's dead. I don't know. It's like, I'm sorry, Doctor. I can't. This episode, I can't be on your side. Like, it's a spider. It's horrible. Can we just? It was gonna. I was kind of like, it was gonna die horribly. So, you know, like, are they pulling the no guns card too hard in this episode? Maybe a little bit.
My issue with this is Robertson never got any comeuppance. Like, he didn't get any punishment or like have any issues resulting from his creation of the giant spiders, you know?
Maybe that was like kind of half the point though, I suppose, like the commentary on the, you know, the bad guys getting away with it in today's day and age, you know? If the commentary is supposed to be on Trump and whatever, and then you've got, so I feel like the whole episode is commentary on Trump, political climate, whatever you've got over there. So then the episode ends with him, no consequences for anything he's done, getting away with it. They could have skipped ahead 2 years and shown him becoming president and taking over from Trump, and then it would have been really on the nose of like, look, the rich white dudes, that's the climate we're living in at the moment. They get to do what they want. That's the world you're living in. Is what I feel like the message was there, I guess. And then there was also some of the other stuff. I'm like, is this whole stuff about waste and everything? Are we going for a like? is this supposed to be a message about waste in the world, or like I don't know, because I can't remember what episode, but I feel like Doctor Who did an episode like that before, like a couple seasons ago. That was all. It was this whole episode that pretty much tied into waste will destroy the Earth. It was like pretty much what it boiled down to.
Yeah.
Like we're getting to the stage of people having these questions of what do we do with our waste? We're burying the waste, and then we're putting more waste on top of the waste, and then we're putting stuff. Like we're running out of space. What do we do with it? And I was like, is this what the episode is? It's like, it's about mutant spiders, sure, but in the background message of, look after the Earth, and also fucking Trump characters are ruling the world, and that sucks. But it doesn't try and have but here's what you can do to fix it or anything like that. It's just, here's what it is. This is what it's like.
It just ended.
Yeah. And then, it does end weird there, because of course he walks out. Yeah. They cut to a shot, and then it cuts to the next day, a couple of days later. We don't really know. That was it.
No, it just reminded me of the first episode with David Tennant, like at the end of that episode where the Prime Minister or whatever blows up that alien ship that was escaping.
Yep.
Yeah. And like he screws up her career, I guess, like with a couple of words. I love that scene. That's great.
So why doesn't our current Doctor do something like that?
I guess it's just a different Doctor.
Different kind of Doctor.
Not more merciful.
Not messing around with history or anything like that, or anything. It's just that's
vindictive, I guess.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Gets angry, but look, we've seen her get angry, but she's not, vindictive or anything like that. I suppose
interesting.
Yeah, it's points like those, like times like those, where you can like think back to old episodes, like you're pointing out the Tenet one. It's times like those, how different, because sometimes you can be like, oh, how different is the Doctor really? But you have to pinpoint to those moments, like you're saying there, to really see the differences, I suppose. Like outside the personality. The personality, a lot of times you can be like, oh, this Doctor is like David Tennant, this Doctor's a bit more like Matt Smith. But then when you boil it down to these big like decisions and how different they'll do it, that's when you truly get more of an understanding of the Doctor that you're dealing with at the moment, I suppose. And even then, if I think back to, like, if we even compare it to the last one, Peter Capaldi, how he would have dealt with this person, not the same at all. Not the same at all, that would have been a lot more aggressive. So yeah, we cut to a day later, days later, something like that. We don't really know. And Ryan is leaving his and Graham's house, leaving the house. He's like, all right, Graham, I'll meet up with you when you get there or whatever. I'm heading off to see the Doctor. And then he leaves, and then Graham, we see Graham still sitting in the room. Grace is still there, Does she? I can't. I didn't write down that she says anything. I can't remember her saying anything. Maybe she's just.
This is where they have like a conversation.
Is it? I thought they had the conversation before. Maybe they had both. I don't know.
There's one or the
other. Yeah. So he's still sitting there dealing with seeing Grace inside the home. And then we cut to Yaz.
Oh no! It must have been before, because before he was like smelling her clothes. Like a weirdo. Yeah,
that's where she calls him out. She's like, "You're sitting there smelling sweaters or something like that. Why are you like? What are you doing with your life, Graham? This is what you're doing. You're sitting there." She like calls him out. But it's funny though, because these types of things he's making up in his head, but he's literally like, from the little time we had with Grace, it does make sense that she would be like, "What are you doing?
Yeah,
like I'm dead. Just don't be sitting there smelling my clothes. Like, move on, your life." So Yaz is talking to her mum, who's still asking for explanations about the Doctor, and Yaz is pretty much says, no, I'll explain it when I come back. No problem. I'll do it. Don't worry about it. And then she walks down out of her apartment complex. Ryan is just showing up there at the exact same time as they walk up towards the TARDIS. And then Graham shows up. Even though I feel like Ryan left like 10 minutes beforehand, now Graham's just suddenly...
Yeah.
Quick walker, Graham, for his age. Catch up to Ryan.
No, he knows all the bus routes.
Hey, that's what they only live down the street, apparently. That's the other thing they explained at the start.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They live right next to each other.
Yeah, they live right next to each other, apparently. So Yaz lives in this apartment complex or whatever thing, and then Ryan and Graham live 5 minutes down the street or whatever it is. So the three of them stand inside TARDIS, head inside, find the Doctor inside there, who's getting sad once again. So we pretty much redo the start of the episode, except with a little bit of a different result, where she's like, okay, well, time to say bye, getting all sad, don't want to. And then each one of Graham, Ryan, and Yaz pretty much explain the reasonings for wanting to say. Ryan's reason doesn't make any sense. Ryan's like, I don't want to work in the warehouse. It doesn't make any difference, Ryan. Look, you go with her. She can bring you back 5 minutes from now. It doesn't matter about you. It doesn't affect your job. It doesn't affect your job. You're still going to be working in the warehouse. So, yeah.
Well, I guess he could learn useful skills.
I suppose, yeah. Time travel back, learn something else, get a better job.
I mean, Yaz's reasoning is worse. I just hate my family. I need to get away from my family.
Yeah, Yaz is just like, I don't want to be here right now. But once again, Yaz, she can literally bring you back 5 minutes from now, so that doesn't help. And also Graham, who, as I was talking about before, is like, I don't want to deal with being in that house.
My grief.
With my grief. And his reason is the one that makes the most sense, I guess, if you want sense in quotation marks. But once again, Graham, she can literally bring you back 5 minutes from now, and it's also, yeah, not healthy, as we were saying before. Like, you still have to deal with that eventually, Graham. Some point this season, probably, is what we're saying. So that is where the episode ends.
I also like how she like full on gives them a warning about how the people who travel with her don't come back the same. But she neglects to tell them that a lot of them don't come back.
Yeah, she's not like, oh, some of them die. Some
last
of them
3 or 4 she's been with.
Yeah,
not
so
good endings.
Bill, not good ending. Clara, not good ending. Well, I don't know. Arguable. I don't know. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, technically, she died.
Yeah. I mean, she died.
Amy
Rory. Not dead, but didn't exactly live out their life in the way they wanted it to.
Yeah. And then all of David Tennant's. Well, I guess.
Well, some of them end up together, so they're happy ever after. But of course, Rose, no.
Rose, Donna.
Yeah, Donna, no.
Donna's fine, I guess.
Yeah. Memory wiped. Yeah, I suppose that's in the scheme of things. Memory wiped is quite fine, I guess. If you want to compare everything. What did you think of this week's villain? Spiders.
Spiders. Yeah,
what are you gonna
like
rate?
7.
7?
They functioned properly. They were a reasonable threat. They looked all right. They look like real big spiders.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you think of the overall special effects for the spiders?
I think it was only really the really big one that didn't look amazing, but once you get to that scale, it's hard.
Yeah, I'll say that I felt the spiders, especially the really big one, I feel like that's the worst special effects of the season. However, at the same time, it still looks better than I would have expected Doctor Who giant spiders to look, which is, of course, saying something. Because if this was last season or season before with the old special effects company, I would have just expected it to look pretty crap, That's what you come to expect. Yeah, you come to expect a certain level of crappiness with the show, I guess. Is what you have to deal with. So yeah, I'll give the spiders, I don't know, a 6. I mean, they were spiders. I feel like I do feel like they would have been a lot scarier if there wasn't the whole storyline of so many of them. Like, I feel it could have been a lot scarier if it was how I was saying, just 1 or 2 around, and you don't reveal them to near the end of the episode. Then it would have been a lot more scary. That's proper. Don't reveal your villain too fast, Then they're not as scary.
Well, I guess we all knew it was going to be spiders. So.
Yeah, I know, but it's even like when we watched that teaser last week, they didn't reveal them in the teaser. I was like, even thinking about it, I was like, I wonder what they're going to look like.
Yeah, that's true. They just said it was Something's up with spiders.
Yeah, something's up with spiders. So you didn't really know.
Massive spiders.
Right. They could have revealed the spider, and it could have been massively, 16 arms everywhere. It could have been really crazy, or it could have been just a really big spider.
Double spider.
Double spider, which is what they're doing here. So they just went with the lots of big spiders route, which maybe isn't as scary to me because I've watched Chamber of Secrets, Six-Legged Freaks. I've watched things. I would have been scary if it was more slasher movie with spiders. To me personally, anyway. That's my voting. So 6, definitely not the worst this season, but it's fine. Although I was struggling to pick between, I'm like, is the bad guy the spiders or the bad guy Robinson? And the answer probably is
he's the bad guy as well.
He's really the bad guy. But then when they put out the Doctor Who monster book for this season, who's going to be in the book as the main villain for this episode?
The spiders.
It's going to be the spiders, yeah. So that's the... See, it's like last week. Who is the real villain? It's racism. But
we're going to put the guy in it.
But they're going to put the guy in the book, yeah. So that's the thing. Any final episodes? Any final thoughts on this week's episode before wrapping up?
No. I hope they're not calling themselves Team TARDIS.
No, please no. What did you think of the teaser for next week's episode as well? Because watched it.
I honestly can't remember it. It's been like...
I
watched it Monday. I'm like...
I was like, I have no idea. It was one of those ones where you watch it and you're like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what the plot line is for next week's episode or anything, but that's fine. So yeah, compared to at least last week, it was like, all right, that's in the UK. There's something up with spiders. Okay, next week's episode is about spiders. Sure, I can get this. The teaser for next week's, they're in space. They bump into people. I don't really know what's happening, so yeah, I got no thoughts. Thank you, of course, for joining us again for an episode of Fish Fingers. I was about to say on Custard. Fish Fingers and Custard, the Explosion Network's Doctor Who Aftershow. Dash is in the chat saying very nasty words about Donna. That's very rude. What's your vote on Donna, Ash? Give it now since it's come up.
Donna's good. They were just best buddies.
Yeah, I'm in the middle on Donna. I don't love her. I don't hate her. So I'm Sweden on this one. That's how I'll do it. Thank you for joining us.
That's what they should have had at the end, though. They should have just had a massive bucket of Mortine.
Yeah. No, well, I think that's what the Doctor's plan was. It was basically just like bug spray. I don't know. We'll never.
How's that any different to getting shot in the head?
Doctor's rules. I can't help you.
I
can't help you, Ash. I don't know.
More terrible than.
I feel like her rules for guns in this episode were a little bit.
Yeah, over the top.
Yeah, they were too far, even for someone like me, who is usually, I'm usually on the Doctor's side. I don't like guns. More for
gun spiders.
But at the same time, let's fucking shoot the spiders. Thank you for joining us for Fish Fingers and Custard this week. We will be back, of course, next week on twitch.tv/Explosion Network when you want to know when we're recording the show live. You can follow our socials at Explosion Pod, where we'll say when we're doing it. That's the best way to go about it, because we don't really know. If you want to watch the episodes after they're recorded on Twitch, you can watch them on youtube.com/Explosion Network. If you just want to listen to the audio version, that is, you search for Fish Fingers and Custard or Explosion Pod or Explosion Network on your podcasting services, and you'll find the show that way. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, what's another one? Pocket Casts, that's the one I use. So that's one we name. Sponsor us, Pocket Casts. That's what
not Google. Not Google.
I'm trying to get different thing, but
it's complicated.
I'll try and sort it out. You can follow Ashley on Twitter at Ashley Hobley, ASHLEYHOBLEY.
Nailed it.
You're like, Dylan, start this episode. It's like, Dylan, you sound pretty sick. Come back from PAX. Yeah, but I got that right. You can follow me on Twitter at Vivaladil, VIVALADIL. Head on over to explosionnetwork.com for all the great explosive content, as always. So of your TVs, your movies, your video games, and all the great things of the pop culture world. Give me a sign up, Ash.
Till next week, keep on TARDISing.
Keep on
time traveling.
Keep on TARDISing.
Watching the BBC. Just keep killing those spiders. You never know when they're going to grow some more. It's unnatural.